Normally in a real estate market, what you see is the things that make a difference whether a house sells quickly or not quickly. It's going to be price, condition, and location. But right now in this market, what we're seeing now, it is price, 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 not location, location, location. And then comes condition. There is no question location matters, but right now, the only thing that everybody is looking for is a really good value and a really good deal. There are people that are looking for fixer-uppers. Not everybody's looking for a fixer-upper. There are certain people that are looking for new homes or something that's ready to move into, but not everybody's looking for something that's ready to move into. But the one thing that everybody is looking for is a good deal. Let me tell you what you've got a choice to do, how you're going to market your house, because you're going to probably end up in a similar price and terms. It's just a question of how hard you want the transaction to be, how long you want it to take, and how much you may get negotiated. You can start here, where people typically want to do, and then say, okay, well, we want to get here, so we need to start up here. Or you can start here and be at fair market value. Now keep in mind, fair market value is determined by the buyers and the market. It's not determined by me, a real estate agent, and unfortunately it's not determined by you. There certainly is a price that you're willing to part with your house for and you're not willing to part with your house for. You have to consider pricing here to get here, if that makes any sense. It's a better way to go than to price here to get here. The reason why is if you price here, you're going to have less showings, you're going to have less people interested, and you're going to have zero fear of missing out, especially in today's world where all the showings start online. You want to make sure you create a scenario where there are multiple people that do not want to miss out on being able to have an opportunity to buy your house. Plus, if you price here and then you end up here, it's going to take longer. There's going to be probably one buyer that wants to buy it, maybe. They're going to negotiate you hard on the price and the terms. You might not be able to get a lease back or a seller possession after closing. And they're probably going to put less money down, non-refundable. And you're probably going to have to deal with more difficult financing situations. Whereas if you price here, the only way that you lose if you just don't have patience, there is no rule that says if you price your house here, that you have to take the first offer that's here. Okay, keep that in mind. There is no rule that says that. What you can do is you start here, you have multiple people looking at it, you have multiple people that have fear of missing out, and you end up with stronger offers, more non-refundable money, and you sometimes, many cases, you're going to end up being up here, higher than what you asked for. It's kind of the auction mentality a little bit, but I am not an auctioneer. Let me make that really clear. If you're not getting, now there's certain price points where this changes, but for most normal housing, in the first 2 to 3 weeks, if you are not averaging a showing per day, you probably are priced a bit high. If people aren't looking at your house, coming into your house and looking at it, you're not going to have multiple people make offers on it. You're not going to have people with fear of missing out. This is not a popular tactic with real estate agents to tell you. And it's certainly not a popular tactic for an awful lot of sellers. But I will tell you that if you are aggressive in your price, your condition, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, but it becomes a whole lot less relevant, and even your location becomes less relevant. But price solves everything. Now, I'm not just trying to get you to lowball your house or to put it out there for the low money, because there's nothing that makes you sign the contract. I've had situations where we've put houses out there for $250,000 and we had offers at $250,000, and in the first day, we didn't take them, okay? We waited and we ended up getting $275,000 to $285,000 cash deals, and also fast closings We didn't get beat up on home inspection as bad as you normally will, because if you start here, they're gonna work you down here in the price, and then they're gonna beat you up on the home inspection too. That's just the world that we're in, and you're gonna say, no, well, I'm not gonna do that. But if you get into a situation where you really need to sell your house, you're gonna do what it takes. Now, I can tell you what you wanna hear, or I can tell you what you need to hear. This is the market we're in, okay? You are fighting so much competition now, but the biggest thing you're fighting is the consumer, the buyer. It is fear. They're not excited about having to pay higher prices than they were a few years ago. They're not excited about paying much higher interest rates, and they're not excited that there's not a lot of choices on the market. So you have to overcome that, and price conquers all other things. Probably not what you want to hear, but it's probably what you might need to hear. And just keep in mind, you need to be averaging a showing a day for the first 2 to 3 weeks. And then if you haven't had anything, you better revisit your price, especially if you have a huge number of views online and not enough showings. That tells you that people may have an interest in your house, but either they're seeing something in your pictures, maybe you have too many pictures, by the way, or they just don't see the value. I don't have a crystal ball. You don't have a crystal ball. What's going to determine what your house is worth is what a buyer will pay for it. When that collides with the very moment that you absolutely need to sell or want to sell to move on with your life, you've already probably, if you've owned your house more than 4 or 5 years, you've made a ton of money, and in many, many cases, probably tax-free. Speak with your accountant, of course. And I hope that you won't be angry at me for talking like this, because this is not easy things to hear. And these are the conversations that almost 30 years of experience bring to the market, and watching the market and selling a lot of houses. So we have gone through a lot of these battles, and we're seeing the battles get harder and harder. If you need or want to sell your house, you need to be speaking with an agent that is involved with a lot of deals. Thank you so much for your time today.